Hello, good morning and welcome to an episode of Camilla and I. I'm Mark Cooper, a Royal Photography Society wildlife photographer based here in the UK. And today, if you're interested in photographing butterflies and you want really sharp images, you're in the right place. Because on Camilla and I, we use the Sony ecosystem, but this applies to any major manufacturer, Nikon, Canon, Fuji, Olympus, it really doesn't matter. Butterfly photography is accessible to everyone. The sun's just coming up behind me and we're in an absolutely wonderful place today, Martin Down, just on the Hampshire-Dorset border here in the UK. Absolutely super. So this morning we've parked at the Martin entrance. So what an amazing backdrop we have for butterfly photography today. Martin Down is renowned for its butterflies and it's a particular hotspot. Before we get into position today, I'm better mention a couple of health and safety tricks. Anyway, the first health and safety tip, of course, is wear the right gear. Because although we don't have that many things to worry about out in the nature in the UK, we do have the tick, and unfortunately the tick can easily give you Lyme disease if you get the wrong one. Anywhere where animals are, wild animals, there's every chance. There's deer around here, there's badgers, the appropriate gear. I wear a sort of Craig Hopper mosquito, ideally repellent gear. The other thing to watch out for around Martin Down is our only venomous snake, the adder. I must admit, it's the only time I've been photographing a butterfly and I've been standing right next door to an adder. Absolutely incredible here at Martin Down. So bear that in mind. And any of those dog walkers out there, keep your dogs on a damn lead, otherwise they might come a cropper. There's a friend of mine, his dog got bitten right on the nose, right on the snout by an adder around here. Anyway, the poor dog, its face swelled up, apparently the size of a balloon. Anyway, the guy managed to get it to the vet in time and gave it some anti-venom stuff, I suppose, for dogs. I don't know what they do. Anyway, the dog was fine as he upset, so even though we have got one venomous snake, you would have to be very unlucky to die from the bite of the adder, but it is possible, so bear that in mind. Get my breath back after that walk. God, it was only about half a mile. I don't know what's the matter with me. I'm totally out of condition this morning. Anyway, reached the spot we wanted to reach for butterflies. Now we've got the health and safety waffle out of the way. And it's this ditch that's around Martin Down, basically, which is an absolute haven for butterflies. Of course, the first thing, if you want really sharp images of butterflies, is you do have to find the damn butterflies. Ideally, be out about an hour after sunrise, and you've got every chance of capturing butterflies here at Martin Down. It's absolutely gorgeous area. We're just walking up this steep bit here, and normally this field coming up on the right hand side is an absolute dream, but obviously the areas move from season to season. Well, the advantage of coming first thing in the morning, we've got in amongst a whole little group of Chalkhill blues. Absolutely gorgeous butterfly. Anyway, I've got to be careful I don't put my shadow on the butterfly. Anyway, we have got a pair to our right hand side. Oops. Nearly on some thistles. See This pair here, presumably they're thinking about coupling. Gorgeous pair, Chalkhill blues, and there's another one off to the left, just opened up. Absolutely beautiful. And again we got another one to the right. Anyway, this one, which just covered with the shadow, it's a little bit awkward. Oh, the other one's opening up now as well. Let's see if we can get the pair. Just put you down a minute. One of the blues has flown now, but the one Chalkhill blue is displaying quite nicely. So we've moved on to the 70-200, and because we're going for absolute sharpness, we've gone for no teleconverter to start with in the morning. And I think we might regret this because it's already getting pretty bright and pretty hot. Anyway, the butterflies opened up. You can see down the thing. So this butterfly could fly at any moment. Absolutely incredible. So we'll try and capture it while we can. Anyway, I'll talk about settings and everything else in a minute, but yeah, must just get a few of these beauties in the bag. Absolutely superb. Catching them. There's one down here that hasn't opened its wings yet, but it's bound to any minute. But anyway, see if I can get a shot before it flies off. Was lucky. Well, you know what we're doing. One butterfly hadn't opened up yet, and for some reason it just stayed there for quite some time, so I was able to get in with the macro. So settings come in, but I was able to get in really close, 1:1 magnification with the 90mm macro. So lovely shots of the Chalkhill blue closed up. So yeah, critically sharp. Love it. Anyway, there are a couple more butterflies around, so I'd better keep working while I can, because these butterflies have become quite flighty now, and I'll have to go on to now the 70-200, and this is where I put on the teleconverter for the 70-200 to give us that 400mm reach, because otherwise if I get too close to the butterfly, 0.4 of a metre the 70-200 focuses down to. If I get too close to the butterfly, bang, they're gone. I got too close to that one with the 90mm macro, because trying to get 1:1 shots, so I got too close and it flew off. So yeah, it's getting warmer now. Anyway, shut up now. I'll see what else I can get for you. But yeah, you get the idea. Slow and steady in on the subject, and then take the shots. I'll explain the technicals in a minute. But for now, we're just getting the shots for you. Chalkhill blues galore. Mwah. Nice time in the season, right at the start of the season. So they're pretty good until I get home and discover they're all emaciated. At the moment, I'm looking at perfect wings. So this is an advantage of catching them early in their season. So check when your butterfly is coming out, when it's likely to emerge, because that's a key factor in getting good, sharp, crisp images of butterflies. Tread carefully through the adder's habitat. If you look down here at the ground, you can see all these ant hills, which are basically where the chrysalises go over winter. The ants drag them down into their nests, and the larvae secrete a little fluid which the ants absolutely love. So they have a sort of symbiotic relationship with the common ant around here. So all these ant hills are potential homes over winter of the chrysalis, and that's why it's so good up here today. I spotted another Chalkhill blue down here which hasn't opened up yet, so yeah, fingers crossed. Stay slow and steady. Whatever you're doing, your subject will fly off if you disturb it. So quick flip you around. We're only 4 feet from the subject now. It's in the middle of the screen, and I have to get into position carefully there. Wow, time for a little break, I think. And then I'll explain some settings, I think. Because there's been no time to stop for 1 minute. It's been absolutely exhausting on Camilla and I this morning. Absolutely beautiful. Got some great action for you, so keep watching. Well, what a day on Camilla and I. And firstly, I suppose we better go, what equipment do we use for butterfly photography? Well, the first thing to say is you don't need a specialised lens to get sharp photos of butterflies like this macro 90mm beauty from Sony. You can do perfectly well with a lens you've probably got in your kit bag already, which is the 70-200. This is the Sony 70-200 f2.8. And if you're really into your macro subjects, Sony do a 70-200 f4 lens, which is a pseudo macro lens as well. It goes to a 0.5 magnification close-up focus. So if you're not into other types of wildlife photography and you're particularly interested in your butterflies and insects, probably go for the 70-200, which works very well, just like this one, with a 2x teleconverter. Anyway, to get really crisp, sharp shots today, we've used this without a teleconverter on to start with, because the butterflies won't fly off first thing in the morning. There's dew on the wings and they're still sleepy, so you can get in close enough with this. As the sun comes up now, we'll probably put a 2x teleconverter on this to give us 400mm of reach, so that we can get in closer on the subject as the sun rises. But first thing in the morning, the first thing to say is most people don't take macro shots of butterflies. Most people do these days tend to use a zoom. You've got 100-400 is particularly good in the Sony lineup, as well as the 70-200. And you've got a close focusing capability. So you get a sort of pseudo macro lens, which is this combination, 70-200. And it gets you close enough in on the subject as demonstrated today, and you get some lovely pseudo macro shots. But if you want the 1-to-1 life-size magnification, you want to put a butterfly on the wall at home, for example, then yeah, this is the lens you want to get in close with, which we did on a number of occasions today, the 90mm macro. But yeah, whatever your lens of choice, it doesn't really matter. First thing in the morning, you can get close to your subjects. Even the Sony, what is it, Sony 20-70mm, is it? Not a lens I use, but even the short range zoom lens has a very close 0.3 magnification ratio, I think it is. So this is the gear we're using, these two lenses. And this morning, we've just been in handheld. A beanbag's quite useful. If you rest the camera on a beanbag, that's quite useful. But we have got other support. We've got a tripod with us, and of course we've got the monopod for when we're stuck in one position for any length of time. We can then mount this on the monopod and we can take video for you, and very, very sharp stills. And this is what we're on about today. We're on about sharp photos of of butterflies. So support is absolutely key. If it's not your elbows tucked in, it is something like a monopod with a little L10 head. This one's got, which just goes up and down and you twist around like so. Very simple, but ideal for butterflies and insects. And you want to keep as still as possible. We've used optical steady shot on both lenses and on both bodies. So we've been able to get in on the subject manually and get the shots. And we set a reasonably high shutter speed as well, just to make sure we don't get any movement at all. These days we're not worried about ISO particularly, especially when we're this close to the subject and in this much light. It's depth of field and sharpness we're looking for out of these beauties. Right, anyway, oh, so much sound, better have a drink. Anyway, yeah, don't forget, if you like what Camilla and I do on this commercial break, don't forget to like and subscribe, please, because it's blinking hot here. I won't be here much longer. I've come out on the hottest day of the year, so we've come out first thing in the morning. But boy, I'm running out of water. So a quick one on the boring bit, the settings that you require for butterfly photography. I would suggest always shoot in RAW, so you've got total flexibility with the file after you've got it home. And always use some sort of evaluative metering, spot focus, spot metering, absolutely superb. So you get the butterfly exposed correctly. And for butterflies and insects, we also set a AFC continuous, or AFS I think it is on Canon, but so we continuously focus on the subject, because those wings, we're very close to the subject and those wings do move slightly, which alters the focus and the plane, and we try and get absolutely the sensor and the butterfly in the same plane so that we get sharp photos. Autofocus is almost always on for the 70 to 200 millimeter, but the macro lens, we have the ability to snap it into manual, which occasionally we do if we're going for a particular close focus or a specific focus we're trying to set. So we're on the camera, we're on manual setting. Okay, we're on auto ISO, but we do want to set the shutter speed and the aperture. The aperture is crucial to get the depth of field, to get as much of the butterfly in focus as possible. And then the shutter speed is according to how flighty our butterfly is and what we're going for. If we're going for a static shot of a butterfly, 1/250th of a second is probably fine. If it's a windy day, go for 1/1000th of a second. But if you're going for flight shots, you're looking at 1/4000th of a second minimum to get the butterflies in flight. So yeah, there we have it. Quite simple, really. See how I approach the subject, slow and steady with butterflies. It's no good if your butterfly's flown off. If you don't go slow and steady, and don't, for whatever you do, put your shadow over the subject, because they will fly off. I've already done that a couple of times this morning, and the butterfly has flown, even though it's very early in the morning. So yeah, you've really got to get close to your subject and then fine focus in on the subject. Using the autofocus on the 70 to 200, no problem at all. And indeed, the autofocus on the 90mm macro is very good. It's only when you want that precise pull on a really close subject that you may use manual. But yeah, in these conditions, it's absolutely superb. Anyway, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to Camilla and I, because we've come out on the hottest day of the year for you. It's going up to 32 today. Next week, don't worry, it's going back to normal. But today, we've picked the hottest day of the year so far. So, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to Camilla and I for more butterfly shots. Yeah, talking of which, I think what we'll do now is we'll put the 2x teleconverter on this beauty and see if we can get in on some more Chalkhill blues. We'll go for the more flight action now. We'll up the shutter speed to 1/4000th of a second and see what we can get for you in the Chalkhill blue. See if we can get a few takeoff shots. Anyway, thanks for watching an episode of Camilla and I, how to get really good shots of butterflies. Hopefully we'll go off now and we'll give you some more inspiration with this magnificent amount of Chalkhill blues. Apparently there's hundreds up here. I've only concentrated on about 3 or 4 down here, but apparently there's another 100 up here, I've been told, as I've sat here recording this video. So anyway, hopefully I'll play out with some more Chalkhill blue action and potentially a couple of flight shots as they fly off. Anyway, have a good one. Bye from a very hot Camilla and I.